In a small village between green hills, where dirt roads curved around simple houses and fields moved gently in the wind, there lived a woman named Elena. She walked slowly and spoke softly, but her heart was full of kindness. Her cottage was small and sat at the edge of the village. Wildflowers grew all around it. Inside, the walls were empty except for one wooden cross above the door. Elena believed that God didn't need fancy decorations. He lived in every kind act, every cup of water given to a thirsty person, every prayer whispered in the dark. There was a time when Elena's life was full of people and noise. Her husband, Thomas, was a builder with strong hands and a loud laugh. Their daughter, Grace, was always singing and dancing around the house. The three of them worked their small farm together, ate together every evening, and prayed together before bed. Elena often thanked God quietly. "Thank you, not for everything, but for enough. Not for riches, but for love." Then sickness came to the village. Thomas got sick on Tuesday. By Sunday, he could barely breathe. Elena stayed awake for 7 nights. She cooled his forehead with wet cloths. She fed him soup. She begged God to heal him. "Please," she cried, "don't take him from me. I can't do this alone." But on the 8th morning, Thomas died peacefully. The silence that followed was heavy. Elena sat in their empty cottage, staring at his chair, and screamed at God through her tears, "Why does loving you hurt so much?" But deep down, under all that pain, she felt something, like a small voice saying, "I have not left you. I am here, even in your pain." The hurt didn't go away, but it didn't feel empty anymore. Years went by. Elena's body grew weaker. Her steps became slower. Her hands shook when she worked. But every morning, before the sun came up, she lit a candle, opened her Bible, and talked to God like he was sitting right there with her. Grace grew up and wanted more than village life could give her. She left for the city, promising to visit often. At first, she did. She came home with stories about her new life, her new friends, her big dreams. But slowly, the visits stopped. Months passed, then years. Elena learned to eat alone. She learned to talk to herself in the empty house. Some nights, the loneliness felt like it would crush her. "God," she whispered in the dark, "is this all I have left? Is this what faithfulness gets me?" But every morning, she got up again. Not because the pain was gone, but because she believed God gives strength for today only, not for tomorrow, just for right now. Elena filled her days with small acts of love. She baked extra bread for travelers. She worked in her garden and prayed over every seed she planted. She sat with old people who had no one, listening to their stories like they mattered. Children from the village came to her gate. She fed them, told them stories about how God sees every bird that falls, and reminded them they were special. When people asked why she gave so much when she had so little, Elena smiled and said, "God fills what we empty for him." Even stray animals came to her door, a hurt cat, a skinny goat, a bird with a broken wing. Elena took care of them all, saying softly, "You were sent by God who sees everything." One spring, Grace came home. She was older now, tired from working so hard in the city. She watched her mother, old, bent over, but still giving to others, and felt guilty. "Mother," Grace said, her voice shaking, "why do you work so hard for people who won't even remember you? You should stop, rest, save your energy." Elena looked at her daughter with gentle eyes. "My child, God has not forgotten me, and as long as I'm still breathing, I will give what He has given me. That's not being tired, that's my purpose." Grace didn't understand. To her, being lonely meant you failed at life. A good life meant being busy, having lots of people around and making noise. She couldn't see what her mother saw, that God was doing something special in the quiet. That evening, a beggar knocked on Elena's door. She let him in right away, fed him, and gave him a blanket for the cold night. Before he left, the man put his hand on her shoulder and said, "May God repay your kindness when you need it most." Grace heard the words but didn't feel them, not yet. Winter came, cold and harsh. One morning, Elena fell while getting water from the well. She couldn't get up, couldn't speak. Her body had finally given out. News spread fast through the village, and then something amazing happened. People came from everywhere. Some Elena had helped many years ago, others she barely knew. Women brought food and medicine, men brought firewood. Children sat by her bed, holding her hand, saying the same prayers she had taught them. Grace arrived to find her mother's cottage full of people showing love. She fell on her knees beside the bed, crying, "Mother, you were never alone. All this time, you were never alone." Elena's voice was very weak. God doesn't take love away, my child. He moves it around. He saves it. And when the time is right, He gives it back like rain from heaven. When Elena got better, Grace begged her to come live in the city. She was afraid of losing her mother again. Elena prayed and felt peace. She knew God was opening a new door. City life was loud and crowded. Sometimes Elena felt more alone with thousands of people around than she ever did in her quiet cottage. But one day, Grace took her to a shelter for children with no parents. "Would you help here?" Grace asked. Elena's eyes filled with tears. She knew right away this was why God brought her here. She cooked for the children, told them stories, held them when they cried, prayed over them when they couldn't sleep. They called her Mama Elena, and her old heart felt fuller than ever before. Years later, when Elena died peacefully in her sleep, hundreds of people came to honor her. People she'd fed, children she'd comforted, strangers whose lives she'd touched without even knowing. Grace stood in the crowd, finally understanding. Her mother's loneliness was never a punishment, it was a preparation. Here is the truth. When God removes people from your life, He is not rejecting you. He is preparing you for something bigger. He takes away the noise so your heart can grow bigger than you thought possible. He removes people so your heart can grow bigger than you thought possible. If you are lonely today, know this: God may be clearing space in your life for something greater than you can imagine. The love you give in faith never disappears. It grows in places you cannot see and comes back to you in ways you never expected.